Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to talk about something that everyone at some point struggles with: self-confidence. How many of you have ever doubted your own abilities or wondered if you were enough? I know I have. But let me tell you this: confidence isn't something that some people are simply born with. It's something that can be cultivated, built, and strengthened. Building self-confidence is a process that requires time, effort, and self-reflection. The first and most important step in this journey is understanding your intrinsic worth. Many people struggle with self-confidence because they define their value based on external factors: how they look, what others think of them, or their achievements. While these factors can be part of who we are, they do not define us. True self-confidence begins when we recognize that we are valuable simply because we exist. Every individual is born with unique talents, gifts, and potential. This recognition of your inherent worth is not something that can be measured by what you do or what others think of you. It comes from the realization that you, as a person, are enough. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. The constant search for validation from others, whether it's through achievements, praise, or external approval, can drain your energy and leave you feeling empty. True confidence arises from within when you understand that you are worthy of success, happiness, and respect simply because of who you are. Recognizing your worth begins with a shift in perspective. Instead of comparing yourself to others or seeking validation, learn to appreciate and celebrate the qualities that make you unique. This means recognizing both your strengths and weaknesses with honesty. No one is perfect, and self-confidence does not mean believing you are flawless. Rather, it means accepting both your strengths and shortcomings without allowing them to define you negatively. Acknowledging your imperfections and working to improve them is a sign of strength, not weakness. A crucial part of understanding your worth is practicing self-compassion. Many people struggle with self-confidence because they are their own harshest critics. They focus on their mistakes, shortcomings, and perceived failures, which can easily erode their sense of self-worth. To build confidence, you need to develop a kind and loving relationship with yourself. Treat yourself with the same care and compassion you would offer to a close friend. This means forgiving yourself for past mistakes, not holding on to regrets, and reminding yourself that growth comes from learning from those experiences. Another way to understand your worth is by setting healthy boundaries. People often struggle with their self-worth because they allow others to dictate how they should feel or behave. Setting boundaries is not just about saying no to others, it's about saying yes to yourself. It's about recognizing that your time, energy, and emotions are valuable and should be protected. When you respect yourself enough to establish boundaries, you send a powerful message to the world that you are worthy of being treated with respect and consideration. The more you practice these steps of self-awareness and self-compassion, the stronger your sense of self-worth will become. Over time, this deep understanding of your intrinsic value will help you face challenges with confidence. You will no longer rely on others' opinions or external measures of success to feel good about yourself. Instead, you will draw strength from knowing that your worth is not determined by fleeting circumstances, but by the inherent qualities that make you who you are. In essence, building self-confidence starts with understanding that you are enough as you are. When you recognize and accept your worth, you begin to build the foundation for lasting confidence. You stop seeking approval from others and start affirming your own value. With time, this understanding will empower you to face life's challenges with strength, resilience, and unwavering self-assurance. Overcoming negative self-talk is one of the most crucial steps in building lasting self-confidence. The way we speak to ourselves shapes our perception of who we are and what we believe we are capable of. Unfortunately, many people have a tendency to be their own harshest critics, constantly focusing on their flaws. mistakes, and perceived shortcomings. These negative thoughts create a cycle of self-doubt and can make it nearly impossible to build the confidence needed to pursue goals, take risks, or even believe in one's potential. However, overcoming negative self-talk is not only possible, it's essential to fostering self-assurance and a positive mindset. The first step in overcoming negative self-talk is recognizing it. Many individuals are unaware of how often they engage in self-critical thoughts. These thoughts can be subtle, like telling yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never be able to do this," or they can be more overt, such as constant comparison to others or feeling like a failure in every aspect of life. Recognizing these thoughts is the first step to dismantling them. You need to become aware of when you are engaging in negative self-talk and take note of the specific language you are using. Once you are able to identify negative self-talk, the next step is to challenge it. Negative thoughts are often exaggerated and do not reflect the reality of the situation. They stem from insecurities, past experiences, or external pressures. For example, you might think, "I always mess up," but that is rarely true in every situation. Remind yourself of times when you succeeded, even if they seem small in comparison. When you challenge negative thoughts with objective facts and evidence, you begin to see that the negative beliefs you hold about yourself are often inaccurate. Replacing negative self-talk with positive affirmations is another powerful strategy. Positive affirmations are statements that help reprogram your thinking and reinforce your worth. For example, instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," say, "I am capable of learning and growing." Instead of thinking, "I'll never succeed," say, "I am doing my best and I am moving closer to my goals every day." Repeating these affirmations daily helps retrain your brain to focus on your strengths, abilities, and progress rather than your shortcomings. Over time, this will shift your mindset from one of self-doubt to one of empowerment and belief in yourself. Additionally, it's important to stop comparing yourself to others. In today's world, with social media and constant exposure to others' successes, it's easy to feel like you're falling behind. However, comparing your journey to someone else's only feeds into negative self-talk. Each person has a unique path, and comparing yourself to others is an unfair and unproductive practice. Focus instead on your personal growth and progress. Understand that everyone has their own challenges and setbacks, and the success you see on the surface does not necessarily reflect the struggles that person has faced. By embracing your individuality and focusing on your own journey, you stop the harmful cycle of comparison and start building your confidence on your own terms. Another critical part of overcoming negative self-talk is learning to forgive yourself. Many people hold on to past mistakes or perceived failures, constantly replaying them in their minds. This habit can eat away at your self-esteem and make it difficult to move forward. Instead of focusing on the mistakes you've made, view them as learning opportunities. Everyone makes mistakes. It's how you respond to them that matters. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend who is struggling. Practice self-compassion by recognizing that mistakes are a natural part of growth, not a reflection of your worth. Surrounding yourself with positivity is equally important in overcoming negative self-talk. The people you interact with have a significant influence on your mindset. If you are constantly surrounded by negative influences, whether it's toxic relationships or environments, it can be incredibly difficult to break free from the cycle of self-doubt. Seek out relationships and environments that uplift you, encourage you, and support your personal growth. Positive reinforcement from others helps you internalize positive thoughts about yourself, making it easier to silence the negative self-talk. Finally, practicing mindfulness and self-reflection can help you identify and control negative thoughts. Meditation, journaling, or simply taking time to reflect on your thoughts and feelings can help you become more aware of the negative patterns in your thinking. By practicing mindfulness, you gain the ability to observe your thoughts without judgment, allowing you to recognize when you are falling into negative thinking and to redirect those thoughts toward positivity and empowerment. In conclusion, overcoming negative self-talk is a fundamental part of building self-confidence. By recognizing, challenging, and replacing negative thoughts, you begin to cultivate a mindset that focuses on your strengths, growth, and potential. Over time, this shift in thinking will lead to greater self-assurance and the ability to face challenges with resilience and belief in yourself. It takes practice and patience, but with consistent effort, you can transform your inner dialogue and begin to build the confidence you need to achieve your goals and live a fulfilling life. Facing your fears is one of the most transformative actions you can take on your journey to building self-confidence. Fear, whether it's fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown, has a powerful way of holding people back. It creates barriers that stop individuals from taking the necessary steps to achieve their dreams, grow personally, or even take risks in their lives. However, what many fail to realize is that fear is often an illusion, an emotion we experience when faced with challenges or uncertainty. The more you face your fears, the less control they have over you, and the more your confidence grows. The first thing to understand about fear is that it is a natural and universal human experience. Everyone, regardless of their success or achievements, has fears. The key difference is not in whether fear is experienced, but in how individuals respond to it. Fear often arises when you step into the unknown, try something new, or face a situation where there is potential for failure. These feelings are normal, but they should not prevent you from moving forward. In fact, fear is often a sign that you are growing, stretching yourself, and pushing past your comfort zone. If you can learn to embrace this discomfort rather than avoid it, you begin to unlock the door to greater opportunities and personal growth. The next step in overcoming fear is to understand that fear is not always based on reality. Fear is often a product of our imagination. It's the what-if scenarios we create in our minds, the idea that something will go wrong or that we will fail. Most of the time, these fears are exaggerated and do not come to pass. For example, you might fear public speaking because you imagine people judging you harshly or thinking you are incompetent. In reality, most people are more focused on their own lives than they are on criticizing you. Often, we inflate our fears and create a narrative in our minds that is far worse than the actual outcome. When you start to recognize that fear often has no basis in reality, you can begin to challenge it and take action anyway. One powerful way to face your fears is to break them down into smaller, more manageable steps. Instead of looking at the fear as a whole, try to focus on one small action you can take toward overcoming it. For instance, if you fear public speaking, start by speaking in front of a small group of friends or family before gradually increasing the size of the audience. This incremental approach allows you to build your confidence gradually. Each step you take toward overcoming your fear builds momentum and reinforces your belief in your ability to handle challenges. Remember, the more you expose yourself to the things you fear, the less power those fears will have over you. It's also important to understand that facing your fears doesn't mean you will always succeed right away. There will be setbacks, failures, and moments of discomfort along the way. However, this does not mean you should give up. These challenges are often the most valuable lessons. Failure is a part of the process, and it teaches you resilience and perseverance. Each time you fail and pick yourself up again, you build more confidence in your ability to overcome obstacles. Confidence is not about being perfect. It's about knowing that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way, no matter how difficult it may seem in the moment. Another key to facing fear is learning to control your mindset. Fear often stems from negative or limiting beliefs that we hold about ourselves. These beliefs can make us feel small, incapable, or unworthy. To build confidence, you need to challenge these beliefs and replace them with empowering thoughts. Instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough for this," replace that thought with, I am capable of handling this challenge, and I will grow stronger by facing it. By reframing your mindset and focusing on your strengths and abilities, you shift your perception of fear from something that paralyzes you to something that motivates you to take action. Additionally, building a support system is essential when facing fear. It's important to surround yourself with people who encourage you to step outside your comfort zone and pursue your goals. When you have a strong support network, you gain the courage to take risks, knowing that you are not alone. These individuals can offer guidance, reassurance, and perspective when fear starts to creep in. Having a mentor or supportive friends and family members can make a world of difference when facing your fears. In conclusion, facing your fears is an essential step in building self-confidence. It is through confronting fear that we grow and realize our true potential. Fear may never completely disappear, but by taking small, consistent steps to challenge it, you can minimize its hold over your life. Remember that every time you face a fear, you are building resilience, learning valuable lessons, and becoming more confident in your ability to overcome challenges. The more you push past fear, the more you discover just how capable you are. Celebrating small wins is one of the most powerful tools in building self-confidence. It's easy to become focused on the big picture, on the ultimate goals or milestones we want to achieve. However, focusing only on the end result can often leave us feeling overwhelmed, discouraged, or even defeated, especially when progress feels slow or elusive. Instead of waiting for perfection or the completion of major goals, it's essential to recognize and celebrate every small victory along the way. These small wins are the stepping stones that ultimately lead to success and are crucial for maintaining motivation and building lasting self-confidence. The reason small wins are so significant is that they help to build momentum. When you accomplish something, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you are capable and that progress is being made. These victories are tangible evidence that you are moving in the right direction, and they reinforce the belief that success is achievable. Each small win acts as a reminder that you have the power to take action, make progress, and create change. By acknowledging these moments, you create a cycle of positivity and reinforcement that strengthens your self-belief. Another powerful aspect of celebrating small wins is that it fosters a positive mindset. In a world that often emphasizes perfection and high achievement, it's easy to overlook the importance of the journey. But when you celebrate the small steps you've taken, you shift your focus from what you haven't achieved to what you have. This shift in perspective is crucial for building self-confidence because it encourages you to appreciate and recognize your efforts. Instead of feeling frustrated by what's still to come, you feel proud of the work you've done and the progress you've made. Over time, this positivity becomes a part of your mindset, making you more resilient in the face of challenges and setbacks. Additionally, celebrating small wins helps to maintain motivation. It's easy to become disheartened when large goals seem far off or unattainable. But when you break those big goals down into smaller, more manageable tasks and take the time to celebrate each of those steps, you create a sense of accomplishment that propels you forward. It keeps you motivated because you can see the tangible results of your effort, which helps you stay focused and enthusiastic about continuing the journey. Without celebrating small wins, the road to success can feel like an endless struggle. With each milestone, you create a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment that makes the journey worthwhile. Another important reason to celebrate small wins is that it reinforces positive habits and behaviors. When you take time to acknowledge your progress, you encourage yourself to keep going. This positive reinforcement not only boosts your confidence, but also creates a sense of accountability. You start to internalize the idea that every effort you put in counts and that every step forward, no matter how small, is worth celebrating. Over time, these small wins accumulate into significant achievements. However, if you don't recognize and celebrate the small wins, They can easily be overshadowed by the desire for bigger accomplishments, leaving you stuck in a cycle of perpetual dissatisfaction. Celebrating small wins also helps to counteract negative self-talk. Many people struggle with self-doubt and criticism, often focusing on what they haven't done rather than what they have. This negative mindset can erode confidence and motivation. However, by intentionally acknowledging and celebrating the progress you've made, you challenge that negative inner dialogue. Instead of fixating on your perceived failures or shortcomings, you begin to recognize and appreciate your growth. This shift in perspective strengthens your self-esteem and reinforces the idea that you are capable of achieving your goals one step at a time. Lastly, celebrating small wins nurtures self-compassion. Building self-confidence requires being kind and patient with yourself, especially during challenging times. When you celebrate your achievements, even the small ones, you're showing yourself that your efforts matter, that you deserve recognition, and that you are worthy of success. This self-compassion encourages a positive relationship with yourself, making it easier to face challenges and setbacks with resilience. You start to see yourself not as someone who is constantly falling short, but as someone who is growing, evolving, and moving closer to their goals. In conclusion, celebrating small wins is an essential part of building and maintaining self-confidence. These small victories provide the momentum, positivity, and motivation necessary to keep moving forward. By focusing on and acknowledging every step of your journey, you not only foster a mindset of growth and success, but also reinforce your belief in yourself. These celebrations are reminders that every effort counts and that you are capable of achieving your goals no matter how long the road may seem. Recognizing the small wins is what transforms the process from a series of obstacles into an empowering and rewarding journey. Embracing failure is a critical aspect of building self-confidence. Many individuals view failure as something to be feared or avoided, seeing it as a sign of inadequacy or incompetence. However, the reality is that failure is not the end of the road. It is an essential part of the journey towards success. In fact, failure is often one of the greatest teachers we can have. When we learn to embrace failure, rather than fearing or avoiding it, we open ourselves to the possibility of growth, learning, and ultimately success. The first key to embracing failure is understanding that it is a natural part of life. No one achieves success without encountering setbacks along the way. Every successful person has faced failure at some point, whether it was a failed project, a rejection, or a mistake. Failure is not a reflection of your worth or ability. Rather, it is an opportunity to learn, adjust, and improve. When you stop seeing failure as a personal flaw and begin to view it as a normal part of the process, you shift your mindset from one of fear to one of growth. One of the most important lessons that failure teaches us is resilience. Failure doesn't define us. How we respond to failure is what matters most. When you face failure, you are presented with a choice. You can either let it defeat you or use it as an opportunity to bounce back stronger. Resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt to challenges, and keep going despite adversity. Each time you face failure and choose to rise above it, you strengthen your ability to persevere in the face of future challenges. This resilience is a key component of self-confidence because it reinforces the belief that no matter what obstacles you encounter, you have the strength to overcome them. Another essential aspect of embracing failure is the concept of learning from mistakes. Failure provides valuable feedback. When you fail, you are given the chance to reflect on what went wrong, why it happened, and what you can do differently next time. This process of reflection allows you to grow both personally and professionally. Instead of feeling defeated by failure, use it as an opportunity to analyze the situation, adjust your approach, and try again. Each failure becomes a stepping stone toward improvement. The more you learn from your failures, the better equipped you are to succeed in the future. Moreover, embracing failure helps to diminish the fear of trying new things. Many people avoid taking risks because they fear failure. However, It is through taking risks that we grow and learn. Every time you step out of your comfort zone and try something new, you are bound to encounter challenges and obstacles. By embracing the possibility of failure, you remove the pressure to be perfect and give yourself permission to take risks. This mindset encourages exploration, innovation, and creativity. Without the fear of failure, you are more likely to take bold actions that lead to personal and professional growth. Failure also teaches humility. When we succeed, it's easy to become complacent or even arrogant, thinking that we have all the answers. However, failure reminds us that we do not know everything and that there is always room for improvement. It helps us stay grounded and focused on the learning process. When you embrace failure, you acknowledge that growth is a continuous journey and that no one has all the answers. This humility allows you to remain open to new ideas, feedback, and opportunities, which ultimately enhances your confidence and growth. Additionally, embracing failure helps you to develop a more positive and realistic self-image. Many people struggle with low self-confidence because they define their worth based on their successes and failures. They see failure as a reflection of their inadequacies. However, when you learn to embrace failure as a normal and necessary part of life, you stop attaching your value to the outcomes of your efforts. Instead, you see yourself as someone who is willing to take risks, make mistakes, and learn from them. This shift in perspective fosters a healthier sense of self-worth and a more robust self-confidence. It's also important to recognize that failure is often temporary, whereas the lessons we learn from failure can last a lifetime. A failed project, a missed opportunity, or a mistake at work is not the end of your journey. These moments are just temporary setbacks that do not define your future. By embracing failure, you free yourself from the fear of what might go wrong and focus on what you can do to move forward. You can choose to use failure as a stepping stone rather than allowing it to limit your potential. In conclusion, embracing failure is an essential part of building self-confidence. Failure provides valuable lessons, fosters resilience, and encourages personal growth. When we stop fearing failure and begin to see it as an opportunity for learning and improvement, we open ourselves up to greater possibilities. Embracing failure is not about accepting defeat. It's about understanding that failure is a natural and necessary part of the journey to success. By embracing it, we become more resilient, more self-aware, and ultimately more confident in our ability to achieve our goals. Building a strong support system is one of the most vital components of cultivating self-confidence. No matter how self-reliant or independent you may be, the truth is that human beings are social creatures. We thrive in relationships, whether they are personal, professional, or even casual. The people around us can either lift us up or bring us down, and the kind of support we receive from others has a profound impact on how we perceive ourselves. Having a network of supportive individuals can help strengthen your self-belief, provide encouragement during difficult times, and offer constructive feedback that fosters personal growth. The first step in building a strong support system is recognizing the importance of surrounding yourself with positive, uplifting people. Support doesn't just come from anyone, it comes from those who genuinely care about your well-being and success. These are the individuals who believe in you, encourage your growth, and offer a safe space for you to express your thoughts, concerns, and ambitions. A positive support system provides emotional nourishment. When you face challenges or setbacks, having people around you who remind you of your strengths and capabilities can give you the confidence to keep going. A key aspect of building this kind of support system is nurturing relationships with people who inspire and motivate you. These are the individuals who challenge you to be the best version of yourself. They see your potential and encourage you to step outside of your comfort zone. Such relationships are not about flattery or constant praise, but about honest, constructive conversations that help you see yourself more clearly. These people push you to improve, offering perspectives that help you recognize areas of growth while also celebrating your achievements. Surrounding yourself with such individuals gives you the assurance that you are constantly evolving and that you have the support you need to overcome challenges. It's also important to build relationships with people who will offer constructive feedback. Support doesn't always mean unconditional praise. It means being open to feedback that helps you grow. In a healthy support system, there should be room for honest and open discussions about your strengths and weaknesses. Constructive criticism is essential because it helps you identify areas where you can improve, offering valuable insights into how you can enhance your skills, mindset, or approach to life. This type of feedback strengthens self-confidence by allowing you to see that criticism is not a reflection of your worth, but a tool for improvement. Another important aspect of a strong support system is the sense of accountability it provides. When you share your goals and aspirations with others, you create a sense of responsibility toward those goals. Supportive people help keep you on track, encourage you to take consistent action, and provide motivation when your enthusiasm wanes. This accountability helps you stay focused and committed to the tasks at hand. It pushes you to keep moving forward, even when obstacles arise, because you know that you have others rooting for you and holding you accountable for your progress. In addition to accountability, having a strong support system offers emotional stability. Life is full of ups and downs, and during challenging times, it can be easy to lose sight of your worth and potential. Having people who genuinely care about you and your well-being can provide a steady source of emotional support. Whether it's a comforting conversation, a word of encouragement, or simply being present during tough moments, these individuals help you stay grounded and remind you of your value. This emotional backing strengthens your belief in yourself because it reinforces the idea that you are not alone in your struggles and that others believe in your ability to overcome them. It's important to note that building a support system also involves giving back. Support is a two-way street. As you receive encouragement and guidance from others, it's crucial to also offer your support in return. By being a source of encouragement for those around you, you create a reciprocal environment where everyone feels valued and motivated to grow. The more you invest in the well-being of others, the stronger your relationships become, and this contributes to your overall sense of belonging and self-worth. At times, it may be necessary to distance yourself from negative influences. Not everyone in your life may be supportive or encouraging, and it's important to recognize the impact that toxic relationships can have on your self-confidence. People who constantly criticize, belittle, or undermine you can erode your self-esteem and create unnecessary doubt. Building a supportive network involves not only finding uplifting individuals, but also setting boundaries with those who are detrimental to your well-being. The energy of those around you significantly influences your own mindset, so it's crucial to surround yourself with people who contribute positively to your growth. In conclusion, building a strong support system is crucial for developing and maintaining self-confidence. The people you surround yourself with play a major role in how you perceive yourself and how you approach challenges. A positive and encouraging support system helps to nurture your self-belief, provide constructive feedback, and offer accountability, all of which are essential for personal growth. By creating and fostering meaningful relationships with those who inspire, motivate, and support you, you not only build confidence in yourself, but also create a network of strength that helps you navigate the ups and downs of life. Consistency is one of the cornerstones of building self-confidence. Confidence is not something that is built overnight. It is a result of consistent effort, actions, and a mindset that remains focused on growth and improvement. Consistency helps reinforce the belief that you are capable, that you are making progress, and that you can rely on yourself to achieve your goals. The more consistent you are in your actions, the more confident you become in your ability to handle whatever challenges come your way. The first key to understanding the role of consistency in building self-confidence is recognizing that small, consistent efforts often yield more lasting results than sporadic bursts of intense activity. Many people get excited about a new goal or project and pour all their energy into it for a short period, only to burn out or lose motivation before they achieve meaningful results. In contrast, consistent effort, no matter how small, leads to gradual and sustainable growth. It's the daily practices, habits, and routines that compound over time to create significant change. Whether it's improving a skill, advancing in a career, or developing a healthier lifestyle, consistency is the foundation that ensures continuous progress. One of the benefits of consistency is that it builds a sense of reliability and trust in yourself. When you commit to a course of action and follow through on it consistently, you prove to yourself that you are dependable and capable of keeping promises you make to yourself. This reliability is key in developing self-confidence because it fosters a belief in your own ability to succeed. Each time you take action, you reinforce the idea that you have control over your life and the power to shape your future. As you accumulate small wins, your trust in your abilities strengthens and your confidence grows. Additionally, consistency in your actions helps to eliminate self-doubt. One of the main reasons people lack self-confidence is because they doubt their abilities, often wondering if they are good enough or capable of achieving their goals. By consistently showing up and putting in the effort, you begin to silence that inner critic. You start to accumulate evidence that contradicts the negative thoughts and doubts you may have about yourself. Over time, this evidence builds a strong case for your abilities, and the doubt fades into the background. The more you prove to yourself that you can take consistent action and see results, the less you question your own competence. Consistency also allows for incremental growth. Confidence does not come from achieving one big success. It is the result of continuous improvement and development. Each small step you take contributes to your overall progress, and over time, these steps add up to significant achievements. The beauty of consistency is that it allows for small, manageable goals that can be achieved with regular effort. This provides a sense of accomplishment along the way, which fuels your motivation and reinforces your self-belief. Instead of focusing solely on the end goal, consistency encourages you to appreciate the progress you make each day, which further boosts your confidence. Moreover, consistency helps to establish positive habits and routines that support your growth. When you consistently practice a new skill, work toward a goal, or engage in healthy behaviors, you create habits that become ingrained in your daily life. These habits, whether related to productivity, fitness, or personal development, reinforce a sense of control and progress. As these positive habits become second nature, they increase your efficiency and effectiveness, leading to a deeper sense of accomplishment and confidence. Consistency in these areas ensures that you are always moving forward, even when progress feels slow. Another important aspect of consistency is that it fosters resilience. Life is full of obstacles, setbacks, and challenges, but consistency helps you push through these difficult moments. When you make consistent efforts toward your goals, even in the face of adversity, you develop a sense of perseverance. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from challenges, and it is built through consistent effort over time. The more you show up and keep going, even when things aren't going as planned, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable of handling life's ups and downs. This resilience not only builds confidence, but also prepares you to handle future challenges with a positive mindset. In conclusion, consistency is an essential component of building self-confidence. By committing to consistent actions, you build trust in yourself, eliminate self-doubt, and create a foundation for incremental growth. Consistency helps to develop positive habits, reinforces resilience, and ensures continuous progress toward your goals. The more consistent you are, the more confident you become in your ability to overcome challenges and achieve success. Confidence is not built in a single moment, but through the accumulation of small, consistent actions that compound over time. By staying committed to your goals, no matter how small the steps may seem, you create a lasting sense of self-belief that will carry you through every challenge and opportunity.